once they took over. And this is what it was all about. This airstrip right here. A couple of miles of airstrip. I might add, this airstrip was very significant. If you can imagine, if the Japanese had been able to hang onto this and rule it, then they would have probably controlled the entire South Pacific, because from here they could run sorties out into the Pacific, virtually spread out like fingers anywhere they wanted to strike a decisive blow. Woo, 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 woo. Send their planes out, bang, and hit.
The true battle of Guadalcanal begins just one day after the Americans take the island airstrip. The Allied Navy suffers one of its worst whoopings ever in the first of many punishing sea battles in the surrounding Solomon Islands. Wave after wave of Japanese attackers zero in on Henderson Field. The Japanese warships drop a nightly barrage on the strip. American defenders rebuild after every raid and fight back in a relentless cycle of attack, rebuild, defend, attack.
Wing. Oh yeah, here we go. Looks like a P-38. That's what it is. So you can see this is one engine, P-38 Lightning. They've got two engines. So that's one. There's a wing here. This should be the cockpit about here. It's a twin engine. This was the answer in speed to the Zero. Japanese Zero, it reigned dominant in the Pacific for many, many years because they were fast. They had superior air power. But these P-38s, they made up quick time. Twin engine. Here's the cockpit. Okay. Yeah. Pilot would have been sitting down in here, one engine there, going flat out like a lizard drinking. She's taking a whooping. Even the perspex is still there. Even here too, look. That's perspex. P-38 Lightning. What a beauty.
The Japanese fight back on the ground as well, landing elite troops and heavy artillery.
This is a field artillery gun. Big, heavy duty. Look at the size of the diameter. Check out the size of the slug that they spit. What a beauty. You've got your crew, your gunnery crew here. Stand back. Boom! And wouldn't these things have hit hard? Imagine that coming down at the other end. Have a look at this. It's got the writing right on it. So I'm not sure what that says, but it probably says this is one big heck of a gun.
The first Japanese attempt to retake Guadalcanal is a miserable failure. They think the Americans will be a pushover and commit only 900 men, all of them wiped out in a thoughtless charging attack. While the Japanese use palm trees for deadly sniper attacks, the Allies see them as observation points. Concealed Australian troops act as coast watchers, relaying Japanese ship and troop movements to the Allied planners. And here in the Solomon Islands, they're joined by the local islanders.
Woo. Nice breeze up here, that's for sure. Just a bit of a battle getting up here. But now that I'm 60 foot up, I can see every single thing that's going on around me. And if I was sitting quiet enough and still enough, used a bit more foliage as camouflage, I could sit up here with a radio, call the shots, no problem at all. The big problem wasn't too many people that could scale these coconut trees to do it. The Solomon Islanders, real good at it. Very, very clever, and climbing coconut trees from when they were born. They could climb a coconut tree before they could run on the beach. And so they were great, up in these sentry positions, checking it out, reporting back down to the boys, sending the message across, so as manoeuvres and strategies could be planned from one position just like this.
You can only imagine what it was like. Dense jungle, incredible humid heat, and death waiting at every turn.
Something like this. Imagine bullets zipping around, minefields going off, booby traps, people getting shot, blood and guts all over the place, and then getting ready, listening for the command. Okay, we go.
This was America's first major offensive land battle in the Pacific, and their first experience at tropical jungle hand-to-hand fighting. It was a deadly fight for survival. Everyone was getting hit and hit hard. Mates were lost by bullets, bayonets, and bombs. In the air, the battle intensified for mastery of the skies over Guadalcanal, with over 300 planes lost in the first month.
Have a look at this little beauty. It's a torpedo bomber. See these flaps here in the aluminium? I reckon that's for putting your foot in. Here's the cockpit in here. Torpedo bomber. They weren't the most effective plane in World War II, but their role was to strap torpedoes. Ooh, a bit hard on the bottom. Strap torpedoes underneath, go in slow and low, line it up, drop the torpedo, and zoom them in. But they had a great idea. You had a gunner, and this is his little turret. His machine gun would mount on this here, on this bracket here. You've got to slide it around. Oh boy, this is a Grumman Wildcat. Basically, they're aircraft carrier base.
The carrier-based planes are crucial in their role of trying to stop the Japanese attacks on Guadalcanal.
Intact, really. Hasn't done too bad at all. Oh, hey, how's this? Check this out.
The wings fold back so they can be stacked on the aircraft carrier. Ingenious.
Hard on the gear.
So many pilots never made it back to the deck, and among the survivors, horrific injuries include massive burns.